want Cesaro to go away?
Oh, no, we can start. That's just cold brew. No, it's for later. I feel like I'm in the hot seat, like a TV show, you know, getting roasted.
Well, Cesaro, it's a huge honor to meet you. Hope your flight was good, all is well.
Yeah. When did the flight get in? I don't know, 3:30 yesterday, something like that. So I was like, I have to get some coffee before I talk, otherwise it's...
A while ago, you were part of NXT UK Cardiff.
Yes, I was.
And it was a tremendous match against Ilya Dragunov. My question is any chance we might see you on a regular basis on NXT UK?
I don't know. It's not really up to me.
I mean, if it were up to you.
If it were up to me, I think I would wrestle. Can I say wrestle? I'm just kidding. I don't care.
Of course
I can. I would do SmackDown, 2 live events, Raw Monday, and then NXT on Wednesday, and then NXT UK on the weekends when they tape that. So, yeah, I'll do whatever. I would love to.
That's why you're the Swiss Superman.
Yeah, that's right.
You've already had one experience with Tyson Fury. Are you looking forward to
not,
the ring with him again?
not a pleasant one, I'll tell you that much. No, I'm actually looking forward to his next fight. So, yeah, I don't want to get in the ring with him. Yeah, but he's a really, like, yeah, it's be interesting. I don't want to box. I'll tell you that much. Neither does Braun, I think, so.
You had a great match in Saudi with Mansoor. Just wondering if you could talk a little bit about the match and how you found him as an opponent and what you think of his potential for the future.
I mean, you can just watch it back on the network. So I think, and then I told him that after, I think his, how can I say that? I think everybody just expected like, oh, you know, there's the local guy from Saudi and that's why they put him in that match, but he's actually really good. And I don't know if that, like, that's almost it was a benefit for our match, but I think for him it was kind of a detriment at first because people just kind of dismissed it as like, oh, you know, that's just a local guy, and that's why he's on the show. But he's actually really good, as you've seen, you know. You know, I'm not very good at predictions, as in, you know, there's people who have all the potential in the world and then they just kind of fizzle away, and there's people who, you know, you think may struggle and they keep at it. So I think it's just, he's definitely extremely talented, and you know, I hope he does well for the future, and he definitely showed that he can hang.
Hi Cesaro. You just mentioned there you had arguably the match of the night last week.
Oh,
You
don't have to argue.
You know, another great appearance at UK Takeover.
Can you note that I'm extremely humble, please?
You regularly go into these events and, you know, putting on a great show, widely renowned as one of the best wrestlers, if not the best technical one on the roster. Is it annoying when you see someone like Cain Velasquez come in and just instantly get this title shot? You know, shouldn't you be up there in challenging these guys?
I mean, if you'd be smart, you'd probably do that, yeah. But no, I mean, Cain came in and, you know, I mean, he wasn't that successful. So, I mean, I don't know what he's doing now, but I'm here talking to you guys. So, you know, it's a marathon, you know. So, I mean, that's how I look at it. That's what I tell myself to go to sleep at night. So, no, of course, you wish you had those opportunities. But again, I feel like when the opportunity will come for me, I'll be ready, and it'll be better than what Cain Velasquez did. No, I mean, like, but like, to be fair, I mean, that's his, what is it, third match? Right? I mean, he had 2 in a company that we can't mention here. So, and he was very impressive. So, you know, definitely, but it's, WWE, it's such a strong learning curve. And even with NXT, who is maybe a little bit more like the independents, like there's still a learning curve to adjust to the style and everything. But given time, you know, I think, you know, if I step in the ring with Cain, like, we could really tear it up.
And you said, Cesaro, that it's a learning curve for anybody who steps in now, and whether they go straight to Raw, doing SmackDown, doing NXT, whatever. You've been there, you've done it all, and obviously seeing your tweet the other day with NXT and the kind of shifting sands that are happening right now with everything that's coming up to Survivor Series, do you kind of like see yourself being on one of those brands that heading into Survivor Series?
I mean, again, if you were smart, you would pick me on a team, I would think.
Oh,
So I just leave it at that.
But it's clear, you know, obviously you're such an incredible worker, and we mentioned before about all the incredible matches that you have been having recently, and obviously you're very hungry to be there. You mentioned before you'd be on Raw Monday, SmackDown on Friday, NXT Wednesday. Over here in the UK, you want to be on that show immediately.
I mean, of course, you know, you always want to be on every pay-per-view, especially the big four. And to me, I just want to be on every single show. Like, it's that weird thing of, like, if there's a live event somewhere, if there's an event somewhere, I want to be there. It's like that, I want to wrestle. It's just what I love to do. And there's people who, like, you know, some time off or this and that, or they just disappear because they want to go, whatever the case may be. I'm like the opposite, you know, and I wrestled like so many matches in WWE already, and that's what I'm extremely proud of. Like, I feel like if I don't step in the ring for, I don't know, a week, I'm just like, something's weird, I need to get back in the ring. You know, it's just like that thing. And I think I pretty much watch every single show WWE puts out. Well, like, in-ring show. There's a lot of shows right now, so I'm trying to play catch up. But it's just, I feel like, and I try to watch pretty much, at least know what's going on everywhere, which is really hard nowadays because every single thing is available, you know, but it's fun. I don't know if I answered that question. I just went on the rant.
No, that was good. That was good.
I heard you were back in Switzerland talking to Corey Graves on his podcast.
Yes.
What do you do when you go back home, and what do you miss?
Nothing.
What do you miss most about Switzerland then?
What I miss, everything. I mean, I landed and I landed on Monday, and then I was like in the 4th time zone within 4 days, and I just didn't know where up and down was. But I landed and I was like, oh sweet, I'm gonna get like a little croissant, you know, with some eggs and a coffee, and it was like $11, and I was like, all right, back in Switzerland. But I would say what I miss, family, friends, food, like that stuff, you know. And the chicken breast is actually like the size of an actual chicken breast. So it's all that, just hanging out. That's, I mean, last time I was home was about a year ago, and it's usually, a day or two tops, and like the first day you're just jet lagged. I think I slept like 12 hours one day. It was like I get up early tomorrow, and then it was like I wake up, it's like oh sweet, it's like 8. I look at the clock, it's like 11:30. I'm like, well, I guess I wanted to sleep. But yeah, family and friends, food, coffee, it's the good part.
Most of us basically already said this, but most of us believe that you are one of the best wrestlers in the world, and this admiration from us, the fans, towards you. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I'm very honored, and I don't take it lightly, as some people may just be like, oh yeah, I'm awesome, and everybody likes me, so I'm just gonna mail it in. There was actually John Cena who said, you're only as good as your last match. And I believe that. So every match I try to do as good as possible with whatever I'm given, because you never know when your last match is. And I would hate to be like, I don't feel like it tonight, and then knock on wood, something terrible happens. But like, it's just also, I feel like to the fans, like no matter where you come to see a show, I don't know if you're part of an 8-man or if you're like in a singles match, like it doesn't matter. You just put on the best show you can, so they'll remember it. And so I don't take that pressure lightly.
You've recently had a lot of success in a team with Sheamus. Would you like to go back to that team when he's available, or do you prefer to be a single? I was lucky to be in some very great tag teams with people I've gone along with tremendously well, and Jack Swagger, Tyson Kidd, and Sheamus. We the people, by the way. That was our idea, and it's still over.
It was always over.
So I don't know what to. Not gonna get into that, but it's great. Like, being part of a tag team is a different challenge than obviously having success as a singles, and I'm really stubborn about trying to be successful as a singles. So that's what I'm singles wrestler. You could differentiate that. So. That's what I'm focusing on right now, but I still talk to Sheamus pretty much every day, giving each other crap, just like you saw on television.
Just going off on a little bit of a tangent, when I caught up with you in May, you just come from the Spanish Grand Prix from doing the Formula One. Lewis Hamilton's just won the world title. Just wondering, did you get to watch any of the race in America, and what do you think of the season?
Well, I actually didn't catch the race in the US because I was traveling, in the middle of traveling, but you know, I followed the races. Luckily now everything is on your cell phone and YouTube and everything. I actually was very happy that Ferrari tried to make it a little bit, well, I wouldn't say competitive, but like drag it out a little longer till Lewis finally won. You know, it was kind of like, when is he gonna win instead of is he? So you know, it was cool. Like, it was fun to watch. I think there was a plan to go to the US Grand Prix depending on when the Saudi show was, but it was right then and there, so we couldn't really go. But yeah, it was a lot of fun to actually go to the Grand Prix and to watch it back. Not quite sure what to think of the rule changes that are coming up, so like, it's going to be interesting, let's put it that way.
This past 10 months has been another great year for yourself, gone back into singles competition. What's, just with us coming to the end of the year now, what's been the highlight, standout moment for yourself, and why?
Oh man, that's a really good question.
I suppose you don't get much time to reflect, do you, with that much travelling? And
Yeah, it is like weird, because I also like, I like to think back, but then like when I think back, it's like, man, there's so much cool stuff that not necessarily was either on television or just like some of the things that I've forgotten, and someone like reminds me of it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh man, yeah, that happened too. That was really cool. Like, obviously from the top of my head, I would say the WrestleMania match, you know, with Sheamus and everybody, like the 4-way tag, which was just a lot of fun. And you know, we were like, I was actually slacking off Rusev's family, Rusev's mom and dad, well, you know, while Ricochet and Dallas the Black made their entrances. So like it was just like, it was like dark, and I was like standing outside. They were just like sitting like literally right there. So I was just like giving crap. It was great. It's just like, those are like the little things, and obviously the match was fun. But there's, I'm trying to think. NXT UK was a lot of fun. I don't know. There's a lot of things. You know what I mean? And I probably forgot half of it to put me on the spot. So yeah, I would say those two. What else did I do?
last week as
I'll
well.
take
I mean,
those
that
two
was
last
amazing.
week. Last week was amazing too, because it's like, it's always special. So especially if you wrestle somebody in their hometown, because that's or you know, that's just cool and home. But like wrestle somebody in their own country, that's like a whole other level, you know. And I feel, especially in that environment with like a big stadium and the crowd that may be fairly new to wrestling, it's a different atmosphere. Because I mean, we were in there, and I don't know if that was audible on the network, but there was a "You Can Do It" chant.
Yeah.
Like, and it was like, I thought that was like the coolest thing ever, because it was literally just like, "You can do it," and I'm like, I don't know if I heard that one before, but that's really cool. You know what I mean? Just like people sitting there enjoying, you know, like what they see, and like, yeah. I feel like that's why we do what we do. You know, it's just like to give people that feeling of like, you know, you can do it. And then later on, you know, with the Natalia Lacey match, like you saw the emotions there too. It's just like, that's what it's all about, you know, like getting that reaction from the crowd. And like, I think that's the measuring stick.
Cool. Lovely. There'll be time for one more big moment, at least one more.
Oh yeah,
by the end of
I
the
think
year.
there's some time, you know. We got another month left or so.
So you spend obviously so much time on the road, as you said. You don't know when what's up is up and down is down, and what time zone you're even in sometimes. When it comes to focusing on training, obviously you know what you're doing in the ring, and you know, self-indulgent, I'm doing a bit myself at the minute. But how do you kind of focus on training when you're on the road? How does that? Yeah, are there days when you miss it? Because I know you guys are relentless.
No, it's just, to me, it's just like doing it. Like, it's like this. It's like.
Is it just part of your day?
It's just part of my day. It's just the consistency. It's just doing it, as in like, it's just part of your routine. So like yesterday, I flew in from Switzerland. I landed at like 11:30 in Heathrow, and then drove to Brighton. And I was like, I had no clue, like if I have to wait for the group and we take a bus. You know what I mean? Like I didn't know how child works, so I didn't really know how much time I had. But then I got there 1 o'clock. I'm like, oh, perfect. Went to a gym at 1:30. You know, like got back at 3. Went to get some coffee. So like it was a great. But it's like, it's just part of your routine. Like it's like, okay, I know I have to work out certain, like, but now it's like 4 days a week, which doesn't sound like much, but if you travel 2 of them and wrestle another 4, it's because people are like, you don't work out every day. I'm like, no, my body needs some rest. But yeah, it's just part of your routine. Just something we do. Like when we like on international tours, me and Ronald are on the same brand. It's usually like you land, if you have enough time, like eat and go to the gym right away, because it wakes you up, kicks your body out, then you like kind of helps you after being on the plane for 12 hours. That's good way to get moving.
Get you moving.
And it's just like once it becomes part of your routine, I feel like if you like anything else, just like making a habit out of it. It's with good eating, it's with good sleeping, it's whatever it is. And for me, that's as much part of work as anything else. Like as like stepping in the ring. Like if I wouldn't work out the way I do, I couldn't go in the ring every single time and be confident that I can do whatever I need to do. So for me, it's extremely important.
We've talked about this year,
Mhm.
looking towards 2020. Do you think about that year? What aims would you have? Do you have a bucket list that you want to, things you want to tick off?
Plenty of things on my bucket list. I mean, like obviously, winning another singles title.
I know you've always wanted the IC before Sheamus.
IC before Sheamus would be great. I'll take the Universal or the Worlds as well, but the IC would just be sweet. That's just because of Sheamus. But other than that, I just want to continue like what I'm doing with entertaining the people. I feel that's extremely important. But then, like I said, some success would be nice as well. But I don't really. Like I just try to do better every day, and like I don't set like long. Like I mean, there's long-term goals, but it's not like I need to win this, because I feel like then you pressure yourself, and the job is sometimes a little stressful as it is, and I don't need to make extra stress on top of it. So I just try to make the best every day.
Oh, and talent. Is there a particular talent you always think, I'd love to work with them next year?
I mean, there's so many. Luckily, I've worked with most talent in WWE, and even some, obviously NXT UK and NXT, but there's plenty in NXT UK. The people keep messaging me, they want to see me and Walter for some reason.
Yeah. I think you and Riddle will be good as well.
Yeah, it's the same with like Tyler Bate. You know what I mean? Like any of the UK guys. You know what I mean? That would be awesome. There's a bunch of people in NXT, obviously, that are up and coming, and that would be a lot of fun to step in the ring with. And luckily, WWE is never short of talent. Even like Brock Lesnar or Cain Velasquez that we talked about earlier. Like to me, it's always styles that make matches, and I feel like I'm pretty adaptable and can have fun matches with everybody. So I'm just looking forward to stepping in the ring with new people, or some old ones again. Haven't wrestled like AJ Styles, I think, singles ever. So there's. Maybe I have, and it's like one of those like that I forgot that it was like on Raw for 5 minutes. You know what I mean? Like one of those, but like in a real fun one. So stuff like that. I just.
Cool.
We've got 10 minutes, so we'll go around until that 10 minutes
What
goes.
time is it?
Just gone 12.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's not a good man.
Kind of a cheesy question, but your current
I love it. I'm Swiss. So.
your current attire, it's a little bit different from your usual attire, like from around 3 years. Why the change?
Why not?
Just curious.
Yeah, why not? After the bar, I just was looking for something new, and I didn't really like the biker shorts, and then I was like, you know what? Like, why not completely throw it on its head? It's very European, it's extremely comfortable, and it's actually so, there's many things I thought about. It's also, I feel, this may sound silly, but I feel way lighter on my feet, and just faster and better in the ring. I don't know, it's just, sometimes wrestling boots can be a little archaic, and don't really know what technically people with wrestling boots say, okay, that's the look, but then if you look around, there's a lot of people who don't wear the classic look at all. So it's new, I like it, and it's badass, so why not?
Of course, you make it
I know, that's how I was like, yeah, nothing will take away from what I do in the ring.
Of course.
So, yeah, of course.
You've got a lot of fan support, and you mentioned that you don't take that lightly.
Mm-hmm.
A few years ago on a podcast with Steve Austin, Vince McMahon said he felt a disconnect between yourself and the fans. Do you think you've proven him wrong?
I think he's also very stubborn. I mean, I try to prove him wrong a lot. And I mean, you see, that was like the Cesaro's actually came like right after that, where there was like, I think at one point like thousands of signs out in the crowd, and like I think, you know, that may have proven him wrong a little bit, but it's also like it's a constant thing to keep proving that. And like I said, like as much as I try to have it, you know, entertain everybody every night, I also try to prove everybody wrong every night, if that makes sense. Because it's like I feel like, especially with him saying that put like that thought in people's minds who may never had that. So I feel like ever since then, I had to fight an uphill battle with every single person in the company. So because it's like, it's kind of, it's almost like a kingdom, you know, where Vince McMahon sits at top. So like if he says something like that, and then like even subconsciously maybe people below are like, oh, so do something with stuff. No, let's pick somebody else. So like it's just like I feel like ever since then, and still I just fighting an uphill battle every single day. But I'm Swiss, so good at mountain climbing, I guess. And that's where the fan supports come in. That's why I don't take that lightly, because they have been supporting me, you know, before that and especially also after that, and I really appreciate that.
When you were here for the Raw tapings in London in May, you had the match of the night.
Here in London,
yeah. Again, it's a big place.
I just wanted to be the Swiss one who points out that we're actually in Manchester. So, you know.
Yeah, you had the match of the night with Rey Mysterio. Just wondering about how you found sort of competing against Rey over the years, and sort of does he bring the best out of you? Do you enjoy? It's a different kind of matchup.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's obviously awesome because like I watched, you know, Rey when he was WCW Rey on Eurosport back in 1999. You know what I mean? Which is just then you know, it's like, it's amazing. And actually before that, the last time I think we wrestled was in Manchester in a 6-man tag in like, I don't know, 2000, must have been like 15 or
maybe 14,
yeah. Something like that, you know. And it was like we did like one thing and then that was it. And I was like, I really want to wrestle Rey Mysterio, and then like I get to do it in Europe, England, we don't have lots of Manchester. It's all the same. Great Britain, right? Let's put it that way. Great Britain's Andy Murray, right? If he wins, if he loses, it's, you know, Scotland. So you know, like for me, it was extra cool because, you know, I always say anywhere in Europe it's a home game for me. So you know, and then wrestling Rey was just a legend. It's amazing. He's so good. It's like, it's insane, and he's really angry when he swings a chair. So I told him, I was like, I'm gonna leave you over here and have a chair. I want to be near you.
Cool. With the emergence of a rival company in recent months, and obviously NXT going on, is it Fox or USA Network? It's gone on now on the Wednesday night. Has the bar been raised in the world of pro wrestling? Can you feel a thing where, you know, everyone always says you want to go out and have the match of the night, every event. Do you feel like anything's changed over recent months? Or?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I think it changed. It changed when SmackDown, when there was the brand split a few years back, because at least I'm extremely, a little bit competitive every now and again. So, you know, if it's Raw against SmackDown, like I'm like, okay, whatever brand I'm on needs to win. You know what I mean? And then obviously, you know, NXT was always on the network, which is still existing. You know, so like even that, so like, okay, what are they doing? And then, you know, NXT gets the television, so now it's like 3 brands that are competing, and now there's another company. So of course now it's like, but even before, like, you know, I would watch like, you know, New Japan or what AAA is doing or Ring of Honor is doing, and just be like, okay, you know, what's going on now? It's just like one more, and you know, I think it's great. Competition is always great. It, you know, it just makes everybody better, and yeah, that's, of course, like I said, it's a lot of competitive guys here, and you all want to one up everybody, so it's fun, and it's great for the fans, right? I mean, there's trying to do the math, 5, 7, 9 hours of wrestling. Sorry, 10 with 205, right?
Yeah.
And then whatever special is on, so that's just 10 hours of pure in ring, and then you have the bump, right? I guess that's on Wednesday. That's another hour, and then WWE is it backstage, right?
Yeah.
It's another hour. That's 12 hours right there.
Network specials,
and
yeah.
then,
Special documentaries.
and then NXT UK.
Yeah.
NXT UK. So that's we had 11 hours of in ring. You know,
You basically can't sleep for wrestling.
you can spend a whole day just watching everything. So
I think you reached about 97 hours of wrestling.
exactly right. It's just like okay, let's. What is it? The clock. But yeah, so I think it's great. Yeah,
Cool.
gives everybody an option.
One more quick question.
You've taken all that.
You can do it too.
You've taken all that
Finish
stuff.
the circle, you know. Otherwise,
Complete the
One
circle.
more. Yeah, otherwise it's like,
I'll do a quick one.
It's all good.
Yeah, you've obviously such a great student in the game. You know it so well. We've just been talking about how much you watch. You've been seen backstage on that picture that you had on Twitter. Is that a kind of move that you'd like to make eventually when maybe you're thinking of winding down the in-ring career? Is that somewhere you'd like to go? Would you like to keep giving back to the industry like that?
No, I'm just gonna leave and move on a mountain.
And drink coffee.
Screw it. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, I just.
Do you enjoy kind of giving pointers to other people as well? If someone asks your
So
advice,
if somebody asks me, it's usually maybe not what they want to hear, because I feel like nowadays people just want to like ask because they want to hear like, oh, that was great. I don't ask me if you don't want to hear an honest answer. So, but if people ask me, I always like to give. I mean, I always give pointers, but I don't come out and volunteer. There's a lot of guys, especially when I was coming up, that just volunteer opinions all the time to make himself feel better. If somebody asks me, good. If not, it's good too. But I definitely always try to help people out that I feel I can, or that I feel have the talent, or they wanna get better. So, but yeah.
I'll finish on a fun one. Since we've got Survivor Series coming up, if Cesaro could put together his dream Survivor Series team, past and present, who would be in Cesaro's team?
We need to make a fun theme here now. Okay, how about, I was going to say British Bulldog, just for the hometown. Portuguese Man o' War, Montoya.
I've got to find a picture of him now, but yeah, go
Yeah, okay, yeah, good luck with that. I try to go for all the obscure ones.
Big Bully Busick, yeah, go on.
No, not Big Bully Music. I was thinking of like, now we have an international, now we have like a country thing going on. We
El
have
Matador.
The Swiss man, you know what I mean? Portuguese Man of War. What was that?
The Mountie?
The Mountie, yeah, there we go. The Mountie, we need one more, right?
El Matador.
Maybe still.
Let's think, we would have Mr. Fuji as the manager.
Yeah, that's
We
good.
need
Yeah.
Granted,
that.
granted.
So in that vein, let's pick the Samoan Japanese Yokozuna.
Brilliant.
So yeah, and for no other reasons than because I just want to have an international team.
International alliance,
And why
yeah, I
not?
like it, yeah.
Because it's always like, once you Survivor Series team or like Dream Team or Dream Match, like, there's so like, you
Yeah.
know, if you go to a video game, you press random, there's like, I don't know, 700 people now in the video games, so it's like.
It's taking it back, so they used to be themed, didn't
Yeah,
they, back in
we
the
need to
day,
get
yeah.
back to themes,
New League
like.
of Nations.
Yeah.
The New League of
Yeah.
Nations.
Yeah, the New League of Nations. Sheamus, Rusev, me.
And Wade, wasn't it?
Where?
No,
Yeah,
Rusev.
it was Wade.
Yeah.
No,
It was
Wade
Wade.
and
Wade and
Alberto Del Rio.
Alberto Del Rio, yeah. The New League of Nations. You mentioned them, they all shut it.
Just don't mention the core to Wade, he won't like that one.
Oh yeah. I'm afraid I got some bad news there.